What up, YouTube? Topaz Yates back again for another live stream, man. And as you guys know, as we wait for people to come up into the room, man, we begin to talk about something. And today we're going to talk about the fact that it's Grammy nominee, Oscar nominee season, and all of this, man. And we're supposed to care. What up, Sean? What's good, bro? See, we are supposed to care that the wealthy and successful among us, like the artists and such, are about to have the award season. People who have had the mainstream notoriety, the mainstream media pushing their songs consistently, these are the people who are being recommended for these awards that these corporations are ultimately giving themselves. We're supposed to care about this. And I, for one, haven't really cared for it since I think the last time that I seriously watched an award show to actually care about what happened in it was when 3 6 Mafia won the Oscar award, as they was hyping up the whole Oscars the whole way. Like, it's hard out here for a pimp. Like, this song right here, don't be shocked if these people win it. I feel you, Sean. We shouldn't care about these Grammys. Like, what is these individuals winning that we care for? I mean, I enjoy entertainment. I enjoy certain artists, and I do want certain artists to succeed and stuff. But what exactly do we get out of the deal? And I don't want to come off as one of these guys that's, oh, there's so much more happening in the world that you shouldn't care about this kind of entertainment. When I love entertainment, it is what it is. But yet, to sit up and watch some people who are already successful, regardless of if they win these things or not, how, how exciting, how intrigued can I actually get with that? Like, do you know the outcome of this? Like, if any of these individuals ever win this, the only thing that comes from it is these same people that promoted them to win these awards, they can go back to them and ask for more money. That's really the common outcome of the whole Grammy and Oscars and all of this stuff, man. While people love to sit up and watch them, sit up and watch, oh, what did they have on? What stories did they say? What was the speeches and all that? Which the speeches are probably the best part. Like I said, my favorite one was when 3 6 Mafia won the Oscar, and the speech for being how random and unorthodox and sloppy, it was still one of the most heartwarming moments of the entire thing. Uh, I enjoyed the rappers getting nominated by the Grammys for promotion. Yeah, it's all promotion to get more money up off of us. And we're the ones who are supposed to care about them and their paths and such. And I would love to see my genre, all genre, hip hop, to get the recognition that it deserves amongst everybody else, even though hip hop has been the most streamed music that has been in the music industry for quite some time. But yet, these people that are giving away the awards, come on, they wouldn't understand music if it slapped them in the mouth. These people are supposed to be the authority, the ones who give away the awards, the quote unquote academy. These people are supposed to have their pulse on the music industry and know what's going on, but yet they always make the most boneheaded decisions for year in, year out on who's going to win their awards, as a lot of it comes down to race. Let's not deny that. And then other things, they just are just not informed enough of what the youth are doing, as the music industry has always been a youth orientated thing. As much as people love to hate on the youth and don't want to help none of them shine and all that, without the youth, this music industry would have been died years and years ago, while all of the older generations continued to hate on the next. Just like how who was it? Disco hated on hip hop. How 80s rappers hated on 90s rap. How 90s rap hated on 2000s. How 2000s hating on 2010 and so on. And it's going to continue to go like this. So the people who are in charge of giving away these awards, people who supposed to be understanding where music is going, these people are so clueless that it's no coincidence that these awards never go to the right people. They gave Macklemore the hip hop award over Kendrick Lamar. And this ain't like the 1960s white people doing this. This is 80s rappers don't hate 90s rappers. They did when the 80s started turning it over to the 90s. Like this is historical thing. Like 80s rappers and 90s rappers, now they come to conclusion, but there was a time where the older generation didn't like the 90s. Let's not deny this. And if you deny it, you don't understand what's going on. What it do? What up, Holding Soul Productions? Grammys does suck. I haven't watched it in the last 9 years. I feel you. It's difficult to actually care about it on how bad it's been organized, how much they don't ever give the proper music its dues. And I mean, the fact that they tried to go, it's been some years, man, that they've been trying to do hip hop better. As I feel as though this year they have selected some better selections, but I already know they're gonna mess it up. Because have you seen some of these nominees and stuff? Like for the album of the year, they're saying Cardi B, the Black Panther soundtrack with Kendrick Lamar and all of that. Then you got Drake's Scorpion is going to be up in there. Like those are the only hip hop albums that's considered for album of the year. Well, is Cardi B even a best hip hop album? Like as many times as I've come across people who say, you know, that they like hip hop awards and all that, who have the top 5 albums of the year, all these people, how many of them actually said Cardi B? But they got Cardi B nominated for album of the year. And then you got the rap albums of the year, where you got Cardi B, you got Mac Miller, you got Nipsey Hussle, you got Pusha T, and you got Travis Scott. You'll take the Black Panther soundtrack as a winner? Not gonna happen, but I guess it's possible. I mean, that was a visionary thing, a visionary album that was made by Kendrick Lamar, which he's due for another one to be real. And that movie was so big and powerful worldwide that it's no coincidence that it's doable. But I'm pretty sure that hip hop isn't going to take that award, point blank, period. While the rap album of the year is Cardi B, Mac Miller, Nipsey Hussle, Pusha T, and Travis Scott. Now, if this was up to me, it would be Nipsey Hussle by a landslide. Like none of these albums are even close to in comparison. You feel me? But yet, my gut instinct is saying they're going to give it to Mac Miller. Not just because he died, but because he was white. And I mean, it is what it is. They have shown that they will grade on a scale of whiteness. That makes no sense in the hip hop category. I like Cardi B, but no way in the album of the year. I guess I feel you. Like Cardi B's album ain't even top 10 of all music, but yet they putting her in there though. Like I could see her hit song that went completely viral everywhere. I can see that getting nominated for a song of the year, but album of the year? Of course, you'll pick Victory Lap, but they ain't going. Like that's the thing. The streets and people who know hip hop, for the most part, I've been having conversations with people I've been having conversations with people all this year, and it's been common consensus that Victory Lap was the best album so far this year. And I still leave a little more open because it's December, but yet solidly Victory Lap deserves this. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen. I think they would give Scorpion album that over Nipsey Hussle's. And Sean's been hating on that Scorpion album for a while. It's not trash. The Scorpion album is actually pretty good. I'm not saying it's the best album of the year or nothing like that, but it should be in a top 5 list. Top 5, top 10. It deserves to be there. Then you got best rap performance. Well, you got Cardi B's Be Careful. You got Drake's Nice for What. You got that King's Dead. That's that Kendrick Lamar, J Rock, Future joint. You got Anderson Paak's, was it Bubbling? And then you got Sicko Mode. Best rap performance right there. You can already chalk that up to going to Drake, Sean. you can already chalk up that Drake Nice for What as best rap performance award winning right there. Chalk it up, put my name on it. I guarantee you that's what's gonna happen there. Uh best rap song. You got God's Plan. You got that King's Dead again. You got that Eminem, that Lucky You. You got that Sicko Mode. You got that J Rock Win. Uh, and off of that, could you honestly say that Drake's not going to win for that God's Plan? Man, Nice for What is going to win that. God's Plan could easily win the best rap song too. Do you remember how viral God's Plan was? Do you remember how viral Nice for What was? Do you like all this stuff that Drake has been doing? It fits in to exactly what this audience is looking for to give awards away to. You feel me? Now, I like Sicko Mode. Lucky You was cool. Honestly, it's not an award that like the nominees just don't intrigue me enough in that song to really care. But my gut is just saying that Drake is about to clean up on these individual joints. Not so much the album, but as far as Nice for What and God's Plan, those singles in the hip hop realm, those are ultimately going to get the awards. Nipsey should win with Victory Lap, but Grammys are not the culture, the popularity contest. They'll end up screwing it up and giving it to Drake. I I don't think Drake is going to win that album. As I'm saying, it's going to be Mac Miller because he died and because he's white. But you're absolutely you're right though. It's a popularity contest. It's not about the quality music, so it doesn't really matter. Uh so the record of the year, which is pretty much going to be all but the same thing uh as the rap performance, I think, except for they threw in This Is America. Well, no. They threw in This Is America from Childish Gambino, that Kendrick Lamar, All of the Stars with SZA, which I like that song. I like that song a lot. That Cardi B, I like it. And you got that God's Plan. Now, record of the year, I wouldn't be shocked if they threw that to Childish Gambino. Like, you really can't say This Is America was. I mean, what can you say This Is America actually was? Like it wasn't necessarily super hip hop, but it wasn't so much any like it was Childish Gambino doing what Childish Gambino does. And I think it was good. And I think it should definitely win it too, Sean, because these past few years have been super politically driven on all of the award shows and all of this stuff, man. And it's not going to stop. And I mean, this is America. I'm not going to say it was great there, Josh, but I think it definitely deserves its recognition. I think it definitely deserves to win because it's one great statement. And the way it was pieced together was ahead of its time, as we're beginning to see what I said when that happened, that this was going to happen to the music industry. It's more of a trend than a song. It's a trend on a year that's talking about everything political. So I feel you that it is somewhat of a trend, but it's going to work for this. Again, it's not about the great music. It's more about the statement that's being made there. Best new artist. I really didn't know very many of the people that's in that best new artist category outside of Georgia Smith. And I like Georgia Smith. I think she got talent and she's dope. I think Georgia Smith should win, but I don't know anybody else that's within that category or like that. It's not really a hip hop one. What else? I didn't like it at all. I didn't like it. I didn't like all of the stars. Damn it, and it just deleted. Ah, but for sure. And song of the year. Song of the year was the same thing as record of the year with God Plan, This Is America, Kendrick Lamar, All of the Stars, and a few other joints. Pretty much whoever wins song of the year is probably going to win record of the year. And that's going to be Childish Gambino. But that's who I think is going to win. It's going to be Childish Gambino with two. Drake is going to win two. Then you're going to give it to Mac Miller. And Drake might mess around and win album of the year, but that might go to a different genre. But at the end of the day, even with me saying that if everything happened the way I hoped it would happen, I would still not be interested. The only thing that I'm seriously interested in seeing is if Nipsey Hussle was going to win that album of the year, and he's not. A lot of people was looking at it, okay, by them having Pusha T and Nipsey Hussle in that category, people was giving the that gives the Grammys more street cred. Like the Grammys will never have street cred. These people never understood what's happening in the streets. Maybe they got some spies that's looking around the music industry trying to get the best selections possible, but the winners are not going to be the ones who the culture knows put out the best music. You don't think Mac Miller will win? Why don't you think Mac Miller's gonna win, Josh? Now, and I mean to be real with you, the album wasn't as good as a few of these other joints, but yet, if there's one thing that we know is that these people who's giving out these awards like to tell stories, and they'll give extra points because you died. Like if Mac Miller was alive, he wouldn't win it. Point blank, period. But yet they're going to give it more energy. They're going to give it more. They're going to give it more power, I guess, because Mac Miller died and because he's white, bro. You'll see the results, not the event. I feel you. I'll sit up and watch who won too. Now, if there's an upset, and somebody like Travis Scott with Astro World, comes up and wins something, or Nipsey Hussle wins something, I'll I'll Google search it and watch the speeches and see how that happened. That would be very entertaining for me. But yet, it is what it is. Think they're gonna go with the more mainstream pick. Astroworld was a big album, and they got. I mean, Mac Miller's album was a mainstream pick as well, fam. Like Mac Miller's been signed to Warner Brothers for like he was signed to Warner Brothers for like what 7, 8 years by the time that this came, and he was getting mass promotion. It's just he was never consistently releasing music like that because maybe his drug abuse, maybe he just wasn't interested all like that. But he would release stuff whenever he would want to release them, and he wouldn't get massive promotion like that. But ultimately, he's still a mainstream pick, though. But it's very like a lot of people, a lot of up and coming artists, they look at things like the Grammys as inspiration. Like I want to one day be sitting in the front row of the Grammys with my name coming out that envelope so I can get up there, give all thanks to everybody and show the world that I'm the best at this. That's the picture that was supposed to be given. But yet the reality of what the Grammys actually is a bunch of corporations who already paid their way for their artists to have a shot because there's only but a small group of people in the academy that people know that they go and they bribe, and whoever bribes the most, and oftentimes, especially when it comes to the Oscars, are going to end up getting awards. Like this is how this thing works. Like when Netflix movies, and when Netflix started getting the ability to win awards, when people started seriously considering Netflix movies and shows for awards and stuff, like that only came because they bribed the Academy more than anybody else. If it wasn't for that, it would still only be the movie theaters and stuff like that. Not the movie theaters, but it would only be the massive corporations from Hollywood that would still get this recognition. It's the money that makes these people open up to these artists. So these massive corporations are paying for the individuals to win these awards because they know whoever wins these awards, people just going to go and buy the albums because they felt as though they missed it. That it must be good if it won this award that these corporations paid for them to win. And with that being the whole process, how could the actual legitimate art matter? Ye is a hypocrite. He did tell us this in his rants. You feel me? Like as much as you want it to be about who deserves it most, it comes down to who got paid, who's getting paid the most from individuals, and what story is it that these people want to tell. It's not about the quality music. Like it's not like, and then when you look at like that best new artist category, I didn't see not one rapper. And there's a lot of talented new young acts that's out there that's getting more streams than anybody else in any other genre. Even the people that weren't that talented are getting way more streams on the popular media and all of this. But yet they're not nominated for best new artist. just overall, man, it's something that I'm seriously just not interested in outside of wanting to see Nipsey Hussle win and hopefully seeing an upset or two. I mean, I would be cool if Kendrick won the Black Panther award, the Black Panther album soundtrack, because that would open up a whole nother revenue stream for him. Like he would be able to curate albums for movies for maybe the end of time. It would establish Travis Scott as a force to be reckoned with in the entire music industry. I think that would be powerful. And I think the Nipsey Hussle story, if he would to win, on how he never he never sold out. He had his idea on, I'm going to have a partnership. I'm not going to let these record labels take full advantage of me. I'm going to put out the best possible music. I'm going to do what Master P did on a whole nother level. Like, I think that would be one heck of a story. If any of those ever happened, I would be cool with it. Everything else, eh. Since music is subjective, award shows will never be able to please everybody. Overall, an album getting an award doesn't mean it's automatically good or bad. See, and I feel you on that, Joshua, because music is subjective. But yet, that's more of an excuse for these people to go ahead and take it and do whatever they want with it. And they say, well, music is subjective, so you don't have to uh we just gave it to who we thought was best, when clearly there's a divide amongst all of these hip hop acts between the album of Nipsey Hussle's to everybody else's. Like there comes to a point when somebody has to win it because the product is that respected and well known amongst the people. But yet it's not the people who's giving away the awards. Still ain't hard the Nipsey Hussle album. Been listening to Griselda Records and Black Soprano Family all year. What up, Doobie Sonics? But this is what I'm saying. When the streets tell you this is the dopest album this year, and no matter who it is that I'm talking to, whether I agree with them or not on philosophies and all that stuff, but people that I know that actually listen to music, we usually come to the agreement that this Nipsey Hussle album was fire. And it's better than everything else that's been coming out. If that does not win, it's not because music is subjective. It's more because these people in charge of these awards don't know what they're talking about. But that's all I really had to say about that, fam. There's a bunch of other little topics that I definitely wanted to touch on. Uh, and which is similar to what we was talking about a little earlier when Sean, you saying that 80s rappers didn't ever hate on 90s rappers, but yet you got to understand the divide. Like 90s rappers became more about drug dealing. It's always been about drug dealing, but it took it to a different level for the 90s than it was in the 80s. And the style in the 80s was completely different. From the hip hop, a hip to the hip to the hip hip hop, you don't stop. Like I got uncles that still rock to all of that stuff as we speak. You feel me? And when music shifted over to being more lyrical, being more into the streets and all of this, there was a clash there. But this clash has been symbolized pretty well with 21 Savage coming out with his he came out with a Instagram message saying that all these old heads need to let the youth shine. Like y'all don't give us no game at all, but yet you quick to turn on every single body. Said Redman caught a lot of hate from the 80s rappers. Wouldn't be shocked. Wouldn't be I'm telling you, man, is every generation has been consistent for all time. Like, and it goes back before hip hop. Facts. Like it goes back to what was it soul music didn't like R&B. It's like look at you remember the movie Ray with Jamie Foxx and all of that when Ray Charles started to blend in gospel and R&B together, and the whole older generation started slamming him, and they was mad like you making devil worshiping music. Like Ray Charles was hated by previous generations, fam. This has consistently gone throughout history. I mean, 21 Savage, sure his music ain't great, but yet I feel what he's saying. He's speaking the truth. Like it doesn't matter where the truth comes from. If it's the truth, fam. But the thing is, there need to be more people like Jay-Z. And I know some of you guys have certain feelings about Jay-Z and all of this. But yet, Jay-Z, at about the same time that 21 Savage went off or whatever on quote unquote old hits, Jay-Z dropped his playlist for the year. Well, I'm not going to sit up and say that I like the playlist. Like the playlist was pretty trash, but yet he's showing love to a lot of acts that you wouldn't see an older MC give props to. Like in his list, he had Little Baby in there, had Sauce Walker, had Rich the Kid, had West Side Gun, had Gunner, had a bunch of these young dudes out here that's I mean, you can see them as doing it, the notable and stuff. They doing their thing, but these songs, I really like. Even the songs with the notable acts up in there, I wasn't even feeling those either. But yet, you got to acknowledge that the youth is the future of the game, and without them, there's no music. And if they sat up and chose to get 21 Savage and Little Yachty as the representatives for the culture, then you can be mad about it, but yet you should be mad to the point that you're pushing them in the right direction to get better instead of just slamming them all the way around. We need more people like Jay-Z who's going to use whatever he got to promote the individuals that's on the young individuals that's trying to come up who need a break instead of the people who's sitting up there being mad that these young individuals are getting money. Like we can feel as though that they're trash, but they can they can get better if they had the right people pushing them in the right directions. There's plenty of ways that I can like if somebody like Little Yachty were to come to me like, yo, how can I get better? All right, first of all, Yachty, we're gonna get you a ghostwriter. We're gonna make you practice every day. You're gonna memorize these balls that somebody like Gilly the Kid is gonna write for you, just like how Lil Wayne did it. You want to have that Lil Wayne stardom, don't you? This is how you step it up. I acknowledge that people hate greatness and uniqueness in every generation. This is true. I mean, you can't say that they will never get better, man. Like because if you do recall, Lil Wayne was not the best rapper alive for a very long point of his career. And he's not the best rapper alive now. He never was the best rapper alive, but he has an entire generation of fans that believe that he is. Off the strength that he improved so much because he decided to get ghostwriting. And then from that ghostwriting, he taught himself how to continuously rap. And he's gotten better as he went. Like, do you not remember The Block is Hot? The Block is Hot. Ha, ha. Do you remember Lil Wayne's verses on Bling Bling? Do you remember the actual lyrics? Like, do you remember some of his actual lyrics off of his original projects, man? Yeah, Lil Wayne's run from '04 to '09 was crazy, but it ain't like he wasn't in the game from 2099, 2000 to 2003. Where he was more of the new generation bling bling rapper who spit fast. He wasn't saying nothing besides the jewelry that he had on. Oh, talking about his pa baby. But yet, he stepped it up. He stepped it up to the point that now he's one of the most respected rappers in the game, regardless of whether you like him or not. You got to acknowledge that. So if Little Wayne can do that, then how can't 21 Savage or Little Yachty do that? There was a good selection of people that hated on Cash Money when they was in their hype. These dudes don't talk about nothing. These dudes just talk about their jewelry. These dudes can't rap. These big timers, these dudes is whack. But now, Wayne, one of the most respected, uh, Manny Fresh, still one of the most respected producers ever, who's probably going to go into the Music Hall of Fame if they don't crap on him. BG, one of the most respected of all of the streets individuals out there, even though he's been locked up for a very long time. So who's to say 21 Savage won't turn around and get some ghostwriting from somebody like Nick Grant, practice at his craft enough that his delivery gets better. Joey Badass can teach Lil Yachty how to rap, and I would like to see that. Who, Lil Wayne ain't in your top 40? That's a little ridiculous, dude. That is mad ridiculous to say that Lil Wayne is not. There's 39 other rappers that's better than Lil Wayne as far as careers go in the entirety of hip hop. That's a bit much. Wayne definitely deserves top 15, top 10. But I mean, when you look at his run that he had from '04 to '09, it's not that far of a stretch that he could be a top five. Oh, all I'm saying is stop hating on the youth because without them, this hip hop thing will die. Now, the choice of music is a weird one, but it's not that it can't be taken and be polished and become better. Wayne is a legend. He influenced Kendrick, and you can tell by the way that Kendrick raps. You can sense a little bit of the Little Wayne DNA right there, fam. Uh, what else did I want to talk about? Did you guys see what is it? The Fire Festival from that was Ja Rule's attempt at doing a festival, and it all but turned into the Hunger Games. because they was on like a deserted island and there wasn't enough food and there wasn't enough anything for survival, and people started going ham as soon as dark came. Like they started kicking people out of their tents and stealing people's food and all of this stuff in order to survive through the night. Like they're making a Netflix special about that. Like that was such a catastrophe that Ja Rule had to come out saying that, yo, this wasn't my fault. I was a name on it. It's not, I'm not to blame here, but yet I'll take responsibility and we're gonna make sure that people get home safe and all that. And I mean, the slander is going to be ridiculous. At a time when Ja Rule just can't catch a break with 50 Cent just, would it shock you if 50 Cent is executively producing this? It wouldn't shock me at all. Like the timing of it is crazy, but yet it's probably not. But ultimately, like I'm going to watch that one just to see, because I mean it's important to see that because these festivals and stuff, it's mainly a lot of white people that go out to these things. Like we as black people, we really don't do these like that. Like what black person wants to go to the actual desert and do like some kind of celebration? I know a bunch of black people do be there, but not we are not the majority in these places. But yet, this is a great example of what white people do when society levels break down. You feel me? Like take for like when you watch this and see how crazy these white people are going for quote unquote survival. I mean, as black people, when it comes to stuff like this, we always tend to find a way to party. We'll always tend to find the good side of it. Like we'll set some stuff on fire and begin to party anyway. But yet, when things like this happen for white people, like they begin to get militant and start, no, this is our tent. You can't get over here. You people over there, you stay back, and it becomes a thing. Like is this is kind of important watching. Like you need to watch this for whenever like weather things happen. Like we just had snow and stuff here in Charlotte, and the city really didn't shut down like it usually do. But when the weather gets really bad, like hurricanes and all of that stuff happen here in Charlotte, and if law and order breaks down, this is how all of these white people that's around, especially my neighborhoods and stuff, this is how they're going to act. So it's good watching to see what all you need to be prepared for if ever power, law and order, all of this stuff goes down. So that's one like special that I would recommend people to watch, even with me not even watching it now, just seeing how people are acting in this. What else did I want to talk about? Did you guys see that Ty Dolla Sign could be facing 15 years in prison for drug usage? I mean, not drug usage, but he had drug possession. And they giving him 3 felony cocaine possessions. They're giving him 1 felony possession of THC. And they're giving him less than an ounce of weed misdemeanor. And all of this is happening in Atlanta. Now, is there anybody in here that's from Atlanta? Yeah, 15 years, fam. Potentially. And what he's a black guy, so he could get that 15 years. But yet he is a notable act. And Ray Charles got away with a lot. Like at the point where they was definitely trying to lock Ray Charles up. But I don't think his record label is going to really protect him like that, because most record labels, they will stand by you until your first or second albums are done. And if you ain't like go super platinum or something like that, then they're not backing you with promotion. So why are they going to back you legally? So I think he could easily see that 15 years. But So I've been to Atlanta multiple times recently because it's like the events and stuff that my homie throws. I always help him out with it and stuff. And we happen to be in Atlanta. Now, when I be down there in Atlanta on drugs shouldn't be illegal. But I don't condone using it. I feel you. I mean, this war on drugs is stupid. It's unwinnable. It's stupid. All they're doing is throwing black people in jail for it. Like, you don't see the massive amount of crystal meth dealers in middle America getting thrown in jails. Nah, these people are getting considered as abusers and people who don't know any better. While black people like Ty Dolla Sign for having this amount of drugs on you, oh, you know better. This is illegal substances. You're getting 15 years. This is America, as Childish Gambino would say. But yet, my thing is, I'm consistently, somewhat consistently in Atlanta, and I be on what's the name of that street? Uh it's like the artsy district in Atlanta. Uh, I can't even think of the name, but it's an interesting artsy district because here at this street in Atlanta, this is where Malcolm X used to speak. Uh, let me find it right quick. Ooh, bear with me 1 second. Uh, because my boy, like Malcolm X used to speak at this spot all the time. Edgewood, off of Edgewood Avenue. Malcolm X used to speak there. Atlanta, man. Atlanta is a very beautiful spot, man. Very nice people. I definitely enjoyed it, man. As long as you ain't stepping out of line on them, they cool with you. I remember the first time I went to Atlanta. Somewhat of a funny story. My homie that I went down there with, he we went up into Pastor Troy's club. And Pastor Troy's club was smacking at the time. Like when you walk in there, you gotta throw some bowls in order to move through the crowd. And my homie is a little heavy set. He a big dude. He used to play football, he used to play offensive line. So we up in Pastor Troy's club, and he accidentally like completely crushed this Atlanta dude's white on white Air Forces. Like I saw it. It's like it looked like he intended to do it. like he put his full weight on this dude's crispy white on white Air Forces and completely messed him up. And then looked at him straight in his face. Like, I know what time it is. It's time to fight. Because here in Charlotte, if you do that to anybody, regardless if you know them or not, you mess up their shoes. That's fighting, bro. There ain't nothing else you got to do about it. But dude looked at him in the eyes and put his head down and was so distraught that he crushed his brand new shoes. Told him, man, just go ahead. Like I was prepared. Now it is the gay capital of the world. It's become somewhat of a gay capital too, Sean. Like another story of me and my homie was out there in Atlanta, and we was walking up the street, and we saw these two gay dudes about to throw down. Like they got like real gangster. Like they was like the feminine gay dudes, but yet they like got real gangster real quick and was about to really throw down in the streets. And we was like, man, let's keep it moving before they think we involved in any of this. But you got to understand that the gay movement that's happening in Atlanta, that's mainly from people that's not from Atlanta. Like this is all people that came from everywhere else. And pretty much turned areas of Atlanta into gay Atlanta. But Atlanta is a great place. But so back to the main point of this story. Out there on Edgewood Avenue, like there was it was Memorial Day. They locked down Edgewood Avenue for people to walk around and go from bar to bar to bar to bar and really enjoy themselves. And it was very enjoyable. I liked it. But there was the weed food truck that was right there next to the police, directly next to the police. Got the THC lollipops and stuff like that. It had, and I sat up and I talked to the dude who was operating it. He knew the laws that was in play here. Like you could have this amount of weed on you to sell, and police won't mess with you. And then that same trip, I'm going from spot to spot to spot, and everywhere you go ain't nothing but large clouds of weed smoke. Like it's weed is tolerated to a degree in Atlanta, but yet I don't know how much. Looking at Ty Dolla Sign now, because they giving him a misdemeanor for having less than an ounce. But if weed is tolerated, then that shouldn't happen, shouldn't it? On top of one felony possession of THC. Like, exactly how permitted is weed in Atlanta? Because I'm seeing it in so many different ways where in some cases that it is permitted, in other cases there's not. Maybe it's like something that the law just won't mess with you unless you're a known individual or something and they looking to get you. But that's something that I definitely want to look at, man. But I mean, pretty much the bulk load of his time is going to go along with the three felony possessions of cocaine, obviously. But it is what it is. Hopefully he'll get out from under that, man. Uh and the last thing that I definitely want to talk about before I start taking some of y'all questions. So start thinking of y'all questions now while I'm talking about this last topic. But did you guys see 2 Milli is suing Epic Games for Fortnite, pretty much. Or for those of you who don't know, at least not by name or whatever, 2 Milli is the guy who created the Milli Rock, right? And of course, in Fortnite, like not only can you do the Milli Rock, but you can do all the other hip hop dances and stuff. And 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 I was talking about this too with Money Mitch a little minute ago, man, and he was telling me how upset the a huge amount of artists actually are with Fortnite because they do steal or pirate from the culture, and they are a $1 billion enterprise, and they're not coughing up any money at all. But yet, it's difficult. Honestly, I don't believe anyone has ever had a dance copyright. I don't think that you can literally copyright or trademark dances. The way that an individual moves, you can't do that. So it's all free rights that people can take and go ahead and push through the video games and build more money off of it. Well, that's not cool. Like, that's something that definitely deserves to be changed in in the laws of America, but yet they'll never do that for black people though. Like they're using the likeness and the popularity of 2 Milli to anybody else who did a popular dance. I think they also have that Crank That Soldier Boy in there too. They got all of the popular hip hop dances for a while. They put them in this game. And the artists that came up with it that was in the videos with it, that built their names and brands off of, because there was a good selection of time where the record labels was like, we're not putting on anybody who don't have a dance song and a dance to go along with it. So for them to go in that direction, there was a whole lot of this to choose from. And who would have knew that a free game could get billions of dollars just based off of loot crates? So I don't blame them for suing, and I'm sure there's a bunch of others. Instagram is a free spot for companies to steal ideas and creative activities. Absolutely. You know, once you post stuff to Facebook, Instagram, all that, like, it's no longer your content. Like, your content becomes the property of Instagram, Facebook. Where Facebook owns Instagram, I do believe. That's why every time you come across somebody on Instagram that you like, sometimes Facebook will pop up like, oh, you might know this person. You should be friends with them on Facebook. Which they're both all but the same thing. And because we as a people make things hot, like black people turn every every business opportunity that people have into something that's popping except for our own. But because we made Instagram hot, therefore that gives them the right to take everything that we own, everything that we've done. And then it's super egregious when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, because at least YouTube will pay you. At least YouTube, you can get ads put on your stuff and you can go ahead and get paid a little something to continue to put out content. Instagram, nah, you don't get paid. Like, the way that these people get paid out here is how these Instagram thoughts get paid. Like, they get Fashion Nova clothes and they give you a link where you can go ahead and buy this Fashion Nova clothes that they win, and they get a percentage of that. That's the most amount of money that people are getting off of Instagram. It's more of, you're supposed to just take it, get some notoriety, and flip it into your own thing. Uh, but on the real, man, we need you need to get your own, man. Like, it's cool to build notoriety through these free websites, but you don't want to give these people your ideas so that they can take them and do different things. Like, whatever you come up with, build it through whatever means that you can, but always have that in your mind that I got to take this and flip it and do my own thing. I can't stick around and be on with Instagram and all of this stuff. Like, I know a chick who got like uh man, she got like hundreds of thousands of followers or something. Like, the you might even have heard of them. You feel me? For the people that still left, that's still here. Um, Two Fro chicks on Instagram. Has anybody heard of these chicks? Like, one of them, her name is Adia. Adia Megastar. She's beautiful. I really like her. Now, she got that Two Fro chicks page is massive. Like, it's so massive that whenever we go out in Atlanta, she's in Atlanta and stuff. Whenever we go out and film stuff and she's around people, like, people come up and know her. Like, they come up like, oh my God, you're Two Fro chicks. Oh, can I get an autograph? Yes, Two Fro chicks. And I think that's how it's spelled. Let me see if I can pull this bad motherfucker up. And hopefully you guys can see it. But she's popping like that on Instagram, fam. But yet the problem is she don't make no money. I make more money off of off of YouTube with 3,000 subscribers than what she makes, period. Being the most popping individual that I've ever personally met off of a social media website. Let me. Uh, uh, let me see if you guys can see this. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Uh, can you guys see this? Like, that's Adia. Which she's a bad motherfucking dog. Let me show you another one. Like, now her personal page ain't really that popping. Someone sent me some content of what these thoughts do on OnlyFans, and it was someone that I followed. I've heard of OnlyFans. That's like it's like is it like a porn like video page or something? But it's like a paid joint or something. I don't know it per se, but I have heard of something like that. But yet there's not a lot of money in that Instagram hustle, dude. But yet she got the notoriety to be, and she got the looks. I'm not going to deny she got everything that she could take like 100,000, 200,000 followers and flip it into something. But yet she doesn't know how to do that. Like, fam. And I mean, the thing is, she don't want to rock with your boy. If she wanted to rock with your boy, I would have gave her that level up. I would have gone ahead and made it happen. Like, we gonna flip all of this. Like, you know what? I'm gonna drive some of that traffic to downloadpass.com too. On top of, like, while you playing, I'm gonna have the whole soundtrack to your whole Instagram to your whole Instagram page. I'm gonna have new tracks on there every time that people can go ahead and follow on Spotify. We're gonna go ahead and get paid that way. We're gonna go ahead and get your whole clothing line and all that. Like, forget Fashion Over and all those individuals. We're gonna start your own. And like, she was actually thinking about doing something like that, but yet the person that she tried to go with was shady, and which I know he's shady because he's a contributor to my homies page, to my homies events and all of that stuff. I knew he was shady from the jump. In fact, I was supposed to try to go work with him a little bit, but he was shady towards me and it didn't pan out. But I could take 100,000 followers and make something massive out of it. But you know, some people just ain't got that brand of hustle. But anyway, is there any questions before we hop up out of here, man? Because it's been an hour. Check out Katana Tees. She was in a DJ talking about men look at her as an escort. Katana, let me Let me write that down. I'll check her out. She was in an interview. Uh, Maybe I'll review that DiCaprio too. Like to be real with you, what happened? Something else dropped at the same time as that Jid, and it was like a difficult day for me too because I had to work that day or something. So I never got around to it then. But as of recently, things have been really dry. So tomorrow, if nothing catches my eye, I might mess around and review that. Uh, I mean, but here's the real deal though. Uh, Most of these Instagram chicks out here that's just dope but ain't got that great of a following and all of that, man. A lot of them can be somewhat considered as uh escorts. A lot of them, like, that's how they be slang. That's how these these hookers and stuff be slanging out here off of IG. All the things that she does on the OnlyFans show, like, yeah, facts. But I mean, the thing is that independent hoeing, bruh, it never works. You need to have these chicks really need their own pimps, man. Because just like that chick that I just showed you audio, she doesn't know how to take what she has and make it into something. And I mean, I hate to say that I would be on some OG pimping, like we gonna take this and we gonna make all of this money. Like I don't know why you sitting up here on a gold mine and don't know what to do with it. I know what to do with it. We can make this happen. Oh, pimps are the ones that take these women and mold them into money makers. It's what they need. Like, I mean, if she's doing what she do on OnlyFans and all of that stuff, and she's not trying to be considered as an escort, then obviously she's not working the game the way it needs to be going. Like she must be doing like some free hoeing, which you're not supposed to be doing no free hoeing. You're supposed to be taking that and flipping that into some dollars. Like, why not be a damn escort? And I'm not here to promote escorting or anything like that. But if you hoeing off of OnlyFans, fam, you're only one step away anyway. You need you a pimp that's gonna come in. I ain't no pimp, fam. I ain't no pimp. I'm just saying, like, come on, dog. Like, if you got something that can be making a lot of money and you just don't know how to be making the money off of it, and you just gonna sit up there and lose, like, what sense does that make, fam? Some women don't have, but it's the choice of the consequence. Hey man, I mean, I ain't got nothing against hoes, but hoes make the world go round. It is what it is. You make your choice, you do what you do. You live your life the way you need to live it. But if you're gonna live the whole life, then you better live it the right way and make your bread and come up. You feel me? There ain't no point in Instagram or OnlyFans hoeing and you not getting money, bro. Like, what is you doing? Like, there's so many different ways to go out here and get it. And if you chose that way, then you better be getting it. Oh, on the real, man. I mean, dude, Like I've started making money out of nothing, nigga. Like I when I started the whole Download Pass website, the Download Pass YouTube that transitioned over to Topaz Yates and all that, I didn't have no job. I just had money left over from my job. Said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get this camera and make it happen. Started making videos. Nobody was watching my videos at the jump. Got very little messages at all. But then I got my first hate mail. And when I pulled that up to my cousin, I'm like, yo, I'm on my way. I'm finally getting hate mail, bro. That means people are finally looking at me. And I'm not saying that I'm huge, but yet I'm making more money off of this than somebody with over 100,000 followers on Instagram. Prostitution is a lucrative business. And if you're not getting any money off of it and you somewhat doing it, what is the matter with you? If you make that decision to take your clothes off in front of a camera in the interest, not in the interest of like pleasing your man, but in the interest of building notoriety, then you might as well be out here hoeing, you might as well be out here getting your paper. If you ain't doing that, come on. But indeed, man, I'm about to hop up off of this, man. Probably get something to eat right quick before taking on to sleep because I got an early day tomorrow, fam. I'm against these hoes, but hey, live drama. I mean, how could you be against these hoes? You feel me? Like, I mean, I'm not the one who's going to date you. I'm not the one who's going to save you. But I'm not going to sit up here and say you can't be out here hoeing. I want you to hoe to the best abilities that you can hoe. Like if your hoeing levels is a 2K32, I'll help you get that 2K level up to 99. It ain't that difficult to get to the gym every day on your 2K player and build up your levels so that when you get put in the game, you can hit that game winning shot and you can go ahead and sign those contract deals. You feel me? So I ain't got nothing against these hoes. I'm just saying I'm against players who don't play their position, but they trying to be in the game though. It's like it's like all of these players from the NFL that get drafted in like the top 10 of the NFL draft who bust out because they didn't actually like the game of football. Sean lying through his teeth. But you feel me? Like there's always 5 out of the top 10 players in the NFL draft that do absolutely nothing in the NFL with all of their talents. And it's really because deep down they did not like to play the actual game of football. Why are you even trying to play football then? If it's just because that's the only thing that you're good at, then you might as well do it up. Then you might as well like play to your maximum capacity, no matter if you're getting paid or not. You need to go out there and do you and dominate and hit that next level and learn to do better as well. But that's what I see with a lot of these chicks. A lot of these chicks who doing this weak hoeing out here, y'all getting called up to the majors, but y'all don't even want to play the game. You know what game you in. You might as well be the MVP. Like when I decided to do music, I didn't care about whether I'll be the rapper, the producer, the engineer, whether I'll be the the music mogul or anything like that. Whatever position I'm in, I'm gonna try to do it the best of my capabilities. And whether I succeed in it or not, I'm gonna do me all the way. And these chicks out here are just existing. They ain't trying to be great. And that's the whole issue that I have with these chicks. But I ain't never gonna be mad at you for playing your game. That's just not my game though. I can't be in that game. I can't support that game. But yet I need you to play your game the best way that you can play it. But on that note, man, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. If there ain't nothing popping, I'll do the JID review. We'll see where things go from here. Y'all be easy.